Hey, fourth graders, Mr. Morrison here. We're going to learn about the California state tree today. And California actually has two state trees. We're so lucky. We have the giant sequoia and the coast redwood. And we're going to focus today just on the giant sequoia. You can see they're very, very tall, though they're not as tall as the coast redwood. The coast redwood is the tallest tree, but the giant sequoias are still quite giant. So 5 quick facts about the giant sequoia. The giant sequoia has the thickest bark on Earth at the bottom or the base of the tree. The bark on the giant sequoia can be up to 2 feet thick. They depend on forest fires to regenerate. We have a lot of forest fires going on right now, and it's actually very important in the life cycle of the giant sequoia because what happens is with a fire, when it comes, it burns the seeds from the giant sequoia and it pops them open, and so they spread better. And it's just part of the life cycle of the giant sequoia. The fire is very important to it. They can be really, really, really old. They can live up to 3,000 years old. They've produced the largest living organism on Earth, maybe, and not in terms of height, but in terms of just volume. They're bigger and thicker than any other organism on Earth, i.e., they weigh more. Now, it might be that there's two other places that might be quite bigger, right? Which would be the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, or in Utah. There's a 100-acre aspen grove that's actually all one organism. But if we think about trees and most organisms, it's the biggest living thing on Earth. And you can find them outside of California. They're not just indigenous to California. They're all over the northern hemisphere. And they also can be found in France and in England. And they were brought there because explorers came and they said, these are beautiful trees. And they were planted in places all over the world. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little art lesson here. It's really easy. You're going to need paper, pencil, and you can color later. Your teacher will tell you what to do with your finished project. So just look either at your daily schedule there or wait to know what you're supposed to do with your finished work. All right, so this is real easy. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure we have our pencil and our paper. Step one is we're going to draw the trunk. And again, you're going to color this later. And of course, you can pause this at any time if you need to go a little further. All right, so I've drawn my trunk. And so far, that's what I have. And then the next thing we need to do, a very important part here, we need to draw the roots. Now, the roots of a giant sequoia can go up to 1,000 feet below the actual tree. And again, guys, if you need to pause this video at any time, go ahead. And so here's my tree now with my roots. Next thing we need to do is we got to draw the little branches and trunk lines. So we're going to add some little branches here. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect, guys. We're just having a little bit of fun today in California's birthday. So I've got my little trunk lines here, something like that so far. And now we need to draw then the outline of the leaves. Those leaves are way up there. Imagine 200 feet high are the leaves of the sequoia tree. Now mine's not exactly looking like the picture on here, so maybe yours is, and that's okay, right? It's art. We're having fun drawing these different trees. Now when you're done with this, I recommend using watercolor to fill it in the color because the watercolor looks really neat, but crayons or pencils or marker or anything else, right? All right, so far now I've got my tree. It looks like this, kind of looks like Groot a little bit. We've got our roots, we've got our tree trunk, and we've got the leaves. Now we're going to draw in the leaves, add some little lines here. And I have drawn a beautiful looking giant sequoia. All right, guys, I hope you had fun making your giant sequoia. Remember, California has two state trees, the giant sequoia and the coastal redwood, and they are big, beautiful trees. Happy birthday, California.